Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the fourth and the final day of our Knowledge Week for Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering. My name is Amar bin Salim and I am basically a member of the marketing team at LAMS, and I'm also going to be your host for today's program. So we have been conducting our webcast for numerous programs, numerous graduate programs that we teach at Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering at LAMS. On Monday, we did our webcast for the disciplines chemistry and biology. On Tuesday, we had mathematics and physics covered. Yesterday, it was our day for electrical engineering, and today is the final day of our Knowledge Week, and inshallah, we'll learn about computer science programs offered at the MS and the PhD levels. Now, all of these programs are offered at SBASSE. SBASSE is short for Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering. And SBASSE offers state-of-the-art research and teaching facilities to fulfill its commitment towards multidisciplinary research and education in Pakistan, but it has a global impact. And inshallah, we'll learn more about that once we engage in the conversation today. So today we'll try to make sure that we capitalize on this opportunity in the best possible manner. We'll be conversing with our panelists, and we'll learn about the research taking place in computer science in Pakistan, and how is LAMS playing its role over there. What is the admission criteria for different masters and PhD level programs for computer science? Also, how can you best approach the admissions application, and what are the things that the evaluators really look for in a candidate? So all of these things, but the most important of all would be that we will be taking in your questions and we'll have them answered by our panelists. So again, not wasting any more time, I'm honored to be the presence of Dr. Basit, Dr. Junaid, and Ms. Tahreem. Dr. Basit Shafiq is currently serving as an associate professor, and he is also the chair of the Department of Computer Science at the School of Science and Engineering at LAMS. Dr. Junaid Haroon Siddiqui is also serving as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science, and Ms. Tahreem is a recent MS Computer Science graduate. Currently, she is working as a software developer for a US-based organization. My wholehearted gratitude to all of you for being with us today. And Dr. Basit, I'd like to start with you. Could you please introduce the programs, the MS Computer Science program, the PhD Computer Science programs, and also talk about the way we have structured both of these streams?
Thank you, Amar Saab. Thanks for the introduction. So as you said, computer science program is housed under Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering, along with 6 other programs in physics, chemistry, biology, electrical engineering, and mathematics. Computer science program is one of the oldest program. We started the undergraduate program, I think, in 1990s, and the graduate program, including the MS program and PhD program, I think it started in 2001 or 2002. I'm not 100% sure about the exact year. The current number of students that are registered in our computer science program is over 550 students, including 400 undergraduate students, over 130 MS students, and 20 PhD students. Since its inception, we have graduated almost 2,000 or a little above 2,000 students, including both MS students, PhD students, and graduate students. I think we have graduated over 900 MS students and 28 or 30 PhD students, and all are employed, and they are contributing to different sectors. Now, in terms of the program structure, our graduate program is organized into an MS degree program and PhD program. MS program typically is a 2-year program, 4 regular semester. Students have to take 30 credit hours, which amounts to 10 courses if they are doing an MS with non-thesis or MS with coursework option. We also offer MS program with a thesis option, in which they have to take 8 courses, 8 graduate level courses, and then 6 credit hours of MS thesis work. So roughly this program is completed in 4 semesters or 2 years. So that's for the full-time students. Some of the students opt for part-time program where they have 4 years to complete this their MS degree. But part-time students cannot avail the hostel accommodation or other benefits that are offered to our full-time students. In terms of the PhD program, again, it is in terms of the credit hours, students have to take almost 6 courses or 18 credit hours of coursework beyond their MS degree. So we admit only those students in our PhD program who have 18 years of education, meaning they have 4 years BS degree and 2 years of MS degree. So that amounts to 18 years of education. That's our requirement. And beyond their MS degree, they have to take 42 credit hours. Out of these 42 credit hours, 18 credit hours are of coursework, and the remaining are for research work that they do with their supervisor. We call it as doctoral thesis research. So typically, it's a 4 years program, although some of the students go beyond the 4-year time frame. But for 4 years, we actually fully support them in terms of a stipend, and also we don't charge any tuition fee to them. So they have a tuition fee waiver for 4 years, as well as they receive 50,000 rupees a stipend per month for being a PhD student. I think that's a general overview of the program. I can be more specific if there are any questions.
There will certainly be Dr. Basit, inshallah. We'll be looking at them in a while, inshallah. Dr. Junaid, I'm going to come to you. Normally, I ask this question: what are the real-world applications of the program that I'm doing the webcast for? For example, yesterday it was our webcast for electrical engineering, and this was my question: that what are the real-world applications? Where do we see it happening? It would be very silly of me to ask the same question today, because I think everybody who is watching this program knows numerous areas where computer science is applicable. I think there probably is nothing left where computer science is not applicable. So then my question would be how computer science programs offered at LUMS, both MS and PhD levels, are different from the rest of the computer science programs offered at multiple other universities in Pakistan.
Thank you, Omar, and welcome everybody who is tuned in. So I would take the second question, but I think the first question is also in a way renewed, because yes, we see computer science everywhere, but the unfortunate pandemic situation has actually, as far as computer science is concerned, created a real boom in industry. Not only a boom from a financial standpoint, but there are actual end user applications that we see are becoming digitized. You see banks who are not online and they're rolling out applications. There are marketplaces coming online. So these are the things that everybody can see in their immediate what's available to them in Pakistan. Even your grocery businesses, they're one after another. Multiple businesses are being funded. So it's actually a big push to digitization, and we are in the last couple of years we have taken a jump that developed countries probably took a decade to take because of the slow progression at that time when the thing was happening. So in that sense, there is a boom in applications of computer science compared to what we used to see a few years ago. Adding to that, your specific question about how what we do at LUMS is different. And we try to, at LUMS, be at the forefront of knowledge. And that's not just a marketing term, that's evident from all our faculty's research. Whatever we do, it's not that we cover every possible area of computer science. It's a very vast field. but whatever we do is at the forefront of knowledge, and our work is not like we just do copy of other countries' work and do it in Pakistan, or just do local applications. Whatever we do is cited by and used by developed countries, and they kind of consider the work done as LUMS as equal contributions to the field. So that prepares student on a level that wouldn't be prepared by books alone. So, and as part of our MS program, and we'll probably touch on curriculum a bit, we have a very small core. And the reason we have a small core is that each of our course is kind of a research course, opening new avenues for our students. And that opportunity is to maximize that opportunity. We want students to experience that state-of-the-art research that we are doing.
Exactly. And as I said in the beginning of the program, that we have a global impact for, I mean, whatever programs we have at LUMS, at the Sayyid Babri School of Science and Engineering to be specific, we are making sure that we are connected with the global community. We are making sure that we participate in every way possible towards not only the elevation of Pakistani people, but world as a whole. So inshallah, we'll be talking more about it, inshallah, in greater detail. तहरीम मैं अभी आपके पास आता हूँ मुझे खुद ये क्वेश्चन पूछने में हमेशा बड़ा मजा आता है कि how has your experience been at the Department of Computer Science कितना मुश्किल है प्रोफेसर्स जो हैं वो कितना डिफिकल्ट बनाते हैं इस प्रोग्राम को लाइफ कैसी होती है
Thank you, Omar, for having me on this webcast, first of all. I graduated in 2020 and I had an amazing time at LUMS. And so I would love to share my experience with prospective students. So what I would say is that the coursework here, particularly for MSCS, is quite rigorous. It requires that you get involved in it completely, but then it is also equally rewarding. Like Dr. Junaid mentioned, and you mentioned, that we get to work with experts on a global level. So I think that's the kind of thing that tells you that what you are doing or what you're thinking about or your ideas, they're not just going to stay in a room around 4 people. They're going to have an impact worldwide. So this possibility, this is something that excites you, and you can be among those people who have who are a part of this impact. So I would say yes, the courses are like, they are carefully designed. They encourage you to bring out the best in you. But once you are through that, you really feel the change, and that's just wonderful.
Of course it is, I'm sure. मैं अक्सर ये कहता भी हूँ, I do engage in a lot of conversation with the graduate students, with the undergraduate students, and मुझे ये एहसास होता है कि whatever they are doing, they kind of find meaning to it. It's not like this, जैसे आपने भी कहा, it's not like this that the information, the knowledge that we are creating here is going to stay within the four walls of the room. It is going to have an impact, and LUMS actually ensures that you put everything that you have learned, or at least most of it, to practice, so that you can have a real contribution to the world. बिल्कुल सही. Dr. Basit, आपके पास एक question साथ आता हूँ. What educational backgrounds do we really look for in the applicants who are applying for both the programs, again MS and PhD? हम क्या देखते हैं कि applicant के अंदर जब apply करते हैं?
So the process here is we looked at their academic profile. Their profile includes their degree, their undergraduate degree, where they have done their degree from, their GPA, the courses that they have taken. So again, for admission into our program, they have to have an undergraduate degree in areas related to computer science, which would be electrical engineering, electronic engineering, mathematics. So that's what we consider. And then if they have done any research work in the past, their recommendation, how involved they are in their research. So these are some of the things that we look at. We want to make sure that whatever or whomever we admit in our program, they can they are trained to take the load or the rigor that we offer in our courses. So that's one of the key requirement, both for our MS and PhD program. When we consider applicants for our PhD program, one other consideration that we have is they are working in an area, or they desire to work in an area for which we have expertise in our faculty. So we do not basically admit any student for which cannot be advised by one of our faculty member. When I say advised by one of our faculty member, this means the faculty member is working in that area in which the student is interested in. So that's an additional thing we look at. We want to make sure that whomever we admit into our program, they would have a successful career and they should be able to graduate with success through our program, however rigorous that is.
बिल्कुल. लेकिन डॉक्टर बासित एक क्वेश्चन हमें पहले भी आता रहा है डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स के लिए जब हम वेबकास्ट करते हैं कि व्हाट इज द how important is the previous educational institute where somebody would have completed his or her bachelor's program. तो institution का नाम या पिछला institution जो है उसकी कितनी importance, उसका कितना weightage होती है admission decision में?
अच्छा, I might have been misunderstood. When I say institution, we don't specifically look for the institution, like we do not have any preference of one institution over the other institution. We look at the individual profile of each applicant. So the way we do that is we have a test. So everyone is eligible to appear on our test, provided they meet certain minimum requirements, and that's all available online. So if anyone has a computer science degree with certain GPA from where they are coming from, they have to appear in that test. So that's our first filter based on, and that test is basically carefully designed to look at those specific technical areas or background of students who have a good understanding of the basic concepts of computer science that we teach over here, that is required for our MS as well as for PhD program. So we test on them, and once anyone who clears that test, again, then we look at their GPA or other academic qualifications, but it does not preclude any student who is from say school A versus school B, as long as they clear our they clear our admission test and have a reasonably good profile, including GPA, we admit them.
बिल्कुल सही. So we can say that this is not exactly true कि हम जो है वो आपके जिस institution से आप आ रहे हैं हम उसको देख रहे हैं. We actually put a lot of focus on the way you have filled in your application. We have been saying this thing over and over again, that you start your application as soon as you can and make sure you're spending adequate time at least जिस पे आप सोच सकें, you have a conversation with yourself and then decide what you're going to write in it, so that it gives the evaluators an opportunity to have an insight into your personality, into what you are committed to doing once you join us for any of these programs at LUMS. So having said that, मैं ये भी कह दूं कि this program is being done for our audience. So if there is any confusion, if there are any suggestions, if there is any question that you have related to the computer science field, related to the way the application has been designed, this is your opportunity to get answers to your questions. So make sure you are availing this opportunity in the best possible manner. Okay, Dr. Junaid, आपके पास आता हूँ. What are the career prospects that emerge once someone graduates with an MS or PhD in computer science? Now, you have been working with us for a while. आप बेहतर गाइड कर सकते हैं कि LUMS के जो graduates हैं वो कहाँ पे placed हैं और overall क्या क्या opportunities हैं उन लोगों के लिए जिन्होंने computer science programs में जब graduate करते हैं.
Thank you, Umar. That's a very important question. So सबसे पहले तो there are two basic divisions. People who for the first time or continuing to work in this research environment, some of them develop this desire to do more research, and they then look for academic paths, that academic or research careers. That's what they strive for. So that's one set of answers. And the other set of answers is people who want to go back in industry and maybe apply the new knowledge that they have learned here. Especially, there is a lot of companies that are working in AI and machine learning, and that's a very strong area that we have among other areas. So the people who are looking for jobs, the job market is actually very rich. The data that we have is about our average salary, and everybody who is looking for a job has gotten one. So it's, according to our data we have, is 100% employment among the people who actually are looking for job. And the data we have shows it's about 115,000 starting salary. That's an average, of course. That's not, there is a big range between it. So the kind of jobs that people do, they are from building IT infrastructures where they advise companies how to use technology. That's more closer to a managerial side, and then completely down to development and architecture and that kind of thing. So the full spectrum of jobs is available, and our students go in various options. The second part of among the industry applicants are those who are picked or apply directly to companies abroad. That's a small fraction, but every year we do get a few people who are directly hired abroad. There are others who go after a few years. There are a lot of them, but I'm just talking about the first job after masters. Then there is the set of applicants who want to do research, and some of them stay with us to do a PhD. That's about a 2-3 every year, who start doing some work and they are so much into it that they want to further explore it and do a PhD. So we do always keep a set of applicants from our master's pool to continue PhD, and then there is, of course, a reasonable chunk who apply abroad for PhD, and usually PhD abroad is funded just like PhD at LUMS is completely funded. And based on the work that they do here, and based on our recommendations of their work, they usually end up in the top 20-30 places, and that's where our graduates who want to pursue PhD are going. And those who do a PhD over LUMS have also been serving as assistant professors in other universities in Pakistan, and some have gone for postdocs abroad.
Bilkul Sahin. So such a detailed answer. Thank you, Dr. Junaid. You've given us a very significant piece of information. And I should, reiterate that as well. The average salary when somebody graduates graduates from our program is 1,15,000. Of course, there's a range. There's a huge range. There is, but when we talk about the average salary, it's 1,15,000. I should further let you know that LUMS has been ranked as top ranked in Pakistan in terms of graduate employability by QS Rank. Now, this is a huge achievement, and we are really, really proud of that. In addition to that, we are partners with over 1,400 local and international recruiters. And this is one of the reasons that we maintain a 96% employability index, which is again a significant achievement for a university to have in Pakistan. Okay, having said that, Tahreem, आपके पास आता हूँ मैं, and I want you to speak to our applicants directly. How easy or difficult was it for you to secure admission at to the MS program? टेस्ट के लिए तैयार करना कितना मुश्किल था? कितना टाइम आपको लगा था? क्या उस वक्त स्ट्रेस था, परेशानी थी, इंटरव्यू कैसा हुआ था? ये सब चीजें मैं चाहता हूँ अगर आप हमारे एप्लीकेंट्स को थोड़ा सा गाइड कर सकें इस बारे में.
I would say कि जैसे डॉक्टर बासित ने अभी कहा कि कोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स को टेस्ट करते हैं कंप्यूटर साइंस के, और इट डजंट रियली मैटर कि आप किस इंस्टीट्यूशन से बिलोंग करते हैं. सो इट वाज रियली अबाउट दैट. वी स्टडीड the theoretical concepts of computer science, how they are applied, and the tests were like actually very carefully designed around those principles. And we had like 2 tests. One was for general understanding of computer science, and the other one was for to test our analytical skills and abilities. And we kind of had like 6 smaller sections of these tests. So they were like, I think what they were judging in every section was that how much we understand the concepts that are that we were required to study. So yes, it was stressful preparing for it. We did start. I mean, I would recommend everybody to start early in the preparation.
How
And
early should that be, Basit?
but
Well, how early should they start preparing for the exam? 1 month, 2 months, how much?
that really depends how much you are in touch with the academia. Like currently, if you are, I personally took a significant gap after BS. And after that, I had to go through my, a brush up on my algorithms and on probability on everything a little bit.
Okay, that sounds a bit too technical for my taste. Okay, all right. So we have started getting questions from our community as well, and our first question is from Salman. Salman asks, "Do you offer PhD degree on a part-time basis for job holders?" Dr. Basit, if you could address.
Uh, uh, Again, we receive this question from a number of our applicants. So the PhD program at LUMS is designed for full-time students only. The reason being is we consider our PhD students not as our student, as our colleague. And they have to be, and that's why, I mean, they also receive a stipend, but also they contribute and work with us on their research. We have structured the program in such a way that the student should be able to graduate in 4 to 5 years. And for that duration, for 4 years, we support them financially. Their tuition fee is waived, and they receive their stipend. Also, as I said, we consider them as our colleague. Literally, they also have to co-teach some courses with us. So in that sense, when a student is admitted, it's kind of a junior faculty position at LUMS.
All right. So there are multiple avenues जहाँ पे मतलब once a student gets admission at LUMS, वो जिसमें contribute कर सकते हैं. So they could become a part of our teaching team. And on top of that, there are multiple ways of financing your education, even if you're joining us as an MS student. So there are merit scholarships. There is interest-free loan available to you, and on very favorable terms, I must say. The PhD program, by the way, and again, I take this privilege to let you know that there are 7 doctoral programs that we are offering through LUMS. 6 of these programs are offered at Syed Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering, and all of the programs, all of the doctoral degrees are not only are they fully funded for a period of 4 years, but you also get to have you also get a stipend worth 50,000 rupees that goes on for that particular period, 50,000 rupees per month. And so this actually is a testament to our commitment to providing quality education and making sure that when you are here pursuing a very focused program, which of course all our programs are focused, but the PhD program, which requires a lot of intensive research, you are focused and not worrying about the financial aspect of your program at LUMS. Okay, Dr. Basit, once again, I'd request if you could describe the entire admission criteria for the MS Computer Science program.
The admission criteria, again, it's given on the admission website. I think the link is admissions.lums.edu.pk, where students, they have to appear in a graduate admission test. We call it LUMS Graduate Admission Test, LGAT test, which has 2 parts. One is the general test, as Tareem has described, to test the analytical skills. And the other is a subject test. So for each discipline in SSC, we have a subject test. So for CS, we also have a subject test. So that's the admission test. Now, the graduate admission test, LGAT test, is waived for students who appear in GRE test. So students can also take GRE general test, and their LGAT part is waived, but they do need to give the subject test. So LGAT, when I say LGAT means the general test that all our applicants of SSC or School of Science and Engineering have to take, and that tests the analytical concepts. But they do have to take the subject test because ETS does not offer any subject test in this CS, computer science, or electrical engineering discipline. Therefore, they have to appear in the subject test of CS. In addition to the test, we also look at the academic profile of our students, their GPA, the courses they have taken, and so on. So these are the two main things that we consider.
Okay, all right, thank you. And also this, again, I take this opportunity to let you know that ये सारा जो admission criteria जैसे Dr. Basit ने भी explain किया, this is also available on our website too. So अगर आप किसी किस्म की confusion है, you are requested to go and visit our website, and then you can learn in a bit more detail with regards to कि हमारे admission process जो है वो क्या है और उसकी requirements क्या है. Dr. Junaid, आपके पास आऊँगा. एक question है that has come from Robin. And he asks, how intensive is the research going to be at the MS level?
Thank you, Mar. Thank you, Robin. Good question. So it is going to be as intensive as you want it to be, because the way we have structured our program, it's just 2 core and required courses. One is analysis of algorithms that we kind of feel is the heart of CS. And the other is either statistics or probability, which kind of strengthens the math foundations. After these 2 math foundations, we have you pick 3 courses from 3 streams, and the rest are totally open. So the 3 streams idea is that you are still open to pick your courses, but some people can come with a very narrow mind that we are just going to learn this thing, and we believe a little exposure is good for everyone as at the graduate level. So we require 1 course from 3 streams, but that course is not dictated. It's among about 5 or 10 courses in each stream. And after that, there are a lot of other courses. We divide our courses into 500 level and 600 level. And the idea is that the 500 levels are general advanced graduate courses, and 600 is only state-of-the-art research. So now, when you come and you pick your courses, you decide whether I want to go into more 600 level courses and kind of experience more state-of-the-art research, or general graduate level breadth and with more 500 level courses. You decide whether you want to touch many graduate areas or you want to narrow down in one specific area. Of course, if you narrow down, there is more opportunity for research, exploring research concepts. So there is more research intensity than other research programs, but how far you take it is up to the particular student. And if so, most commonly is that during our breadth courses, students get in love with one of the 3 areas, and then they really want to go into research in that areas, and then pick 600 level courses, and often thesis in the same area.
Okay, so we have established that it is going to be intensive, it is going to be rigorous, but as compared to other programs, it basically depends on you how far you want to go. आप कितने areas में जाना चाहते हैं, आप एक area में कितना ज़्यादा आगे तक जाना चाहते हैं. It depends on you how you are going to structure your research. Totally got your point, Dr. Junaid. Tehreem, I want to ask you another question कि जब आप graduate हो के market आपने enter की, LUMS का जो नाम है उसने कितना impact डाला आपकी applications पे जहाँ पे भी consider होती थी? How welcoming was the market?
So I think LUMS has a very good standing worldwide. मेरा personally मैंने companies के अंदर apply किया, मैंने US based companies के में भी apply किया, and the response that I received was much better as compared to when I had just the BS level degree. But when I've done masters, and especially from LUMS, I think it had a huge impact. I think that is because the studies here, the faculty here is, the courses, the curriculum that is designed, it is of the level that everybody in the world agrees that, okay, this is the highest level that you can go to. And we, यहाँ पे LUMS में, we have opportunities to collaborate with, international faculty from Europe and America and everywhere. So this really improves the standing of people or students.
And आपके जो friends जिन्होंने आपके साथ ये program में graduate किया, where are they placed? For the benefit of our audience, if you could also let them know, कि ताकि हमें थोड़ा सा opportunities के बारे में पता चले.
So yeah, like Dr. Junaid, I think mentioned that it is really up to you where you want to go. So I have friends who are working in academia, who are still in research, who went abroad for PhDs. I have friends who are working in the local community, local market, software developers, and I also have friends who went abroad. So it's really, really up to you what you want to do. LUMS gives you tools and the personal mentorship that you get from instructors. This is something that enables you to do what you want and what path you want to pursue.
बिल्कुल सही. Dr. Bassett, at present, the Department of Computer Science must be engaged in a lot of research. What are some of the main areas जो आप बताना चाहेंगे जिनमें हम cutting edge research में actively involved हैं?
Ji, thank you for this question. This is a very important question. So our faculty broadly does research in 6 areas, including systems and security, machine learning and AI, software engineering, human-computer interaction, ICT for development, then theoretical computer science, and finally network and IoTs. So these are 6 broad areas, and we have in each of these areas almost 3 to 4 faculty members who are actively working in those areas, publishing research papers at top venues in these areas. I would also like to emphasize that this is not just the faculty, our PhD students and MSc students, they are also contributing to knowledge creation in these areas through their publications. So they have made in, they have published in topmost conferences in these areas as part of their PhD dissertation work or MS thesis. And Dr. Junaid, again, he has graduated 2 PhD students in software engineering area. They have published in topmost journals in that area. Similarly, other faculty members and their students, they publish and their work is recognized in leading venues of these areas.
बिल्कुल सही. Thank you so much for touching on that topic, Dr. Bassett. Dr. Junaid, आपके पास आता हूँ. हमारे पास एक question that is from Asad, and Asad asks, what are some of the main expertise that a student develops once he enrolls in the MS Computer Science program?
Right. So there is एक तो मैंने इसका question, last question के answer में कहा था कि there is a lot of electives and a lot of choice. So as far as specific fields are concerned, I would say that that it's up to the student what he wants to learn. But most of the people, what they do at LUMS, they don't, especially if they go to industry, they don't necessarily go in the same area that they loved or they did research in. So there are both as personal development and both in methodology and thinking things that people develop that go across the specific research area or outside the narrow area where they worked on. And I believe it would be some abstract ideas, but there is this discipline, that self-discipline that's generated from a rigorous program. That part, a kind of thorough or in-depth understanding of where computer science stands, that kind of puts them in a better place, even if they go as a software developer, because they have a much bigger picture understanding of computer science compared to a bachelor's who is kind of trained to use the tools. These students better understand where technology is going. And in many cases these students are able to जैसे मैंने पहले mention किया था, in IT positions where they are kind of driving the requirements of organizations, business organization, telling them how technology can help them. This is a question that kind of again is a mentality, a broad mentality that I believe is generated as a result of our program.
बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल सही. Okay, we have another question from our community, and this is being asked by Urva. And Tareen, this has come particularly for you. So the question is, can you ask Tareen, as she just graduated, what core subject areas will be asked in the subject test for MSCS? I think they are asking because you have, I mean, you are done with your MSCS. So, and I understand that you cannot guide them as to what topics will the questions be from, but still, if you could just give them general guidelines once again.
So I took the test like 3 years ago. So I would just say that cover your algorithms, cover your probability, or basic concepts of computer science. And apart from that, you can take guidelines from the GRE's website, whatever material they have for the general test. And yeah, these are the things you should.
Yes, exactly. Everything is available. Our guidelines are also available on our website, and there's a lot of material available on other websites as well, which you can get help from in order to prepare in the best, I mean, in the best manner, of course, for these two exams particularly. Dr. Bassett, my next question is, what are the major ways in which MS computer science program can be funded? Though I have explained a bit, but I would like to know your take on that.
Sure. Sure. Thank you. But before answering that, I would like to answer the breakdown of the different topics for our admission test exam. So we have a very structured syllabus, which is given on the LUMS admission website. So if you go to the individual program, go to the CS program, there for admission test preparation or guidelines, you will find a syllabus that gives a topic-wise breakdown of our test. So I think that would be useful for students. Now, your question about the major ways to get financial support or fundings for specifically for the MS program. So we do have merit scholarships. So currently we have, for each discipline in SSC, we have 2 merit scholarships. In addition, we have financial loans that student can take. Also, each of our faculty members are actively involved in research, and they have grants, research grants. So a student who work with our faculty members as part of their MS thesis research, they also have an option working as RA or research assistant with our faculty, and they receive a stipend for their work. In addition, there are some HEC scholarships for MS program as well that the student can apply and avail those. And there are some other donor agencies who also support our MS graduates. The complete information is again available on LUMS website, LUMS admission website, for all these different opportunities that they can look for.
Exactly. The information is thoroughly available. बिल्कुल सही. So Dr. Junaid, now I'd like to come to you. I would like to ask कि जो हमारा online learning का जो blended learning का जो हमारा इस दफा का experience है, especially the situation that we have noticed that has I mean actually result of the COVID-19 pandemic. ये किस तरह से आप इसको देखते हैं? ये कितना अच्छा रहा, कितना सही नहीं रहा? और if वैसे तो हमने अपना कैंपस जो है एक्सेसिबल कर दिया है, in a phased manner, इंशाल्लाह we'll be making sure कि हमारे पास ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो कैंपस पर आ जाएं. But अगर for in some situation अगर हम इसको कंटिन्यू नहीं कर पाते and we have to go back to the online education entirely, how prepared do you think we are for that?
So thank you, Mar. This is very relevant question for of course, the current time. So when it started, maybe it was a shock for everybody. Again, हम semester के बीच में थे, and we had to shuffle and prepare, and we had trainings for ourselves or how to conduct it. But I think over time, ये अच्छा खासा establish हो गया है कि how do we go about it and making everything available for students. And in many cases, we have seen class discussions kind of skyrocket because people can kind of start or point something on chat, and then it's easy to let them give an opportunity to talk, whereas in a classroom people are sometimes more reluctant to ask. So there is new opportunities, and for students who previously were not contributing have started contributing. So there are in many ways things have gotten better than before, and kind of we have also as instructors learned how to best utilize the online platform, where there are abundant tools available. We don't have that many tools in a face-to-face class. We can't take a poll of students. We can't have students comment wherever they want and then without disrupting us. So there are a lot of things that technology allows that are otherwise not possible. And there is something special about master's classes, that there is a lot of things that at an undergrad level, students kind of get in that environment of a classroom, and that also helps them tuned up for classes. We haven't seen that for master students. Master students have a kind of sharper focus. They have gone through their 4 years bachelor's education, and they're kind of really suited for online classes, if I may say that. So even in real classes, we don't have to encourage them to participate, even though participation has kind of become easier. And I hope even if we return to face-to-face classes, we have kind of learned these tools that we might better use the way we kind of use LMS and share materials now, that that will carry over even when we go to face-to-face classes. So I hope at the end of all of this, we will be in the best of both worlds, but that's just the hope.
I'm certain of that. Tareem, what do you think? Student perspective, I mean, though I know you graduated in 2020, but a bit of your time at LUMS would have spent while you were learning online as well. So how was that experience?
I think we only had to take 2 months of classes, 1 or 2 months of classes online. So it was definitely a shock. There were a lot of issues in the beginning, but there's this good thing about LUMS that I really admire, is that the process of constant improvement. So like students are learning how to take advantage of the system, how to keep everything streamlined, and then teachers are improving and then learning. So I really think, apart from like, even if we weren't in an online scenario, before that भी ऐसा ही situation और ऐसा ही environment है LUMS के अंदर था जब तक मैं थी वहाँ पे, कि teachers were really into improvement of how they can improve their courses, and they incorporate students' feedback into their, they really listen to students and their advice of how it can be improved.
बिल्कुल सही, आपने बड़े सही एक चीज हमें बताया आपने. we are already aware of that. We see it every day that there's a process of continuous improvement that we see at LUMS. It's not just with the students, it's not just with the faculty, it's also with the staff as well. You are always there to do something new, and that kind of, not only, I mean, yes, it does put some pressure on you, but it also open avenues for growth for you as well. So this is something that is significant, and I really believe that it is something that is majorly specific to the institution. Dr. Basit, we have a question from Shazad. Shazad is asking, is the eligibility criteria for admission to the PhD in computer science solely dependent on the entry tests, or will the past qualifications be taken into account as well? And Dr. Basit, जब मैं ये बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैं आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि अगर आप हमारी ऑडियंस को ये भी जरा थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दें कि what is that one thing that the evaluators really look for? डॉक्टर बासित, आपका अगर आप माइक आप अनम्यूट कर लें.
सॉरी जी, जैसे thanks for this question. This is a very good question. जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया था कि जब हम PhD स्टूडेंट्स को सिलेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं तो वी आर लुकिंग फॉर आवर कोलीग्स जो हमारे साथ बैठ के काम करेंगे, हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज भी हमारे साथ लेंगे. एक तो फैक्टर है एडमिशन टेस्ट का, वो एमएस स्टूडेंट्स और पीएचडी स्टूडेंट्स मोर और लेस उन दोनों का हमारा सेम क्राइटेरिया है. एडमिशन टेस्ट इज आल्सो सिमिलर. लेकिन पीएचडी स्टूडेंट्स का फिर एक और एडिशनल चीज है जो हम देखते हैं, वो है उनकी रिसर्च प्रोफाइल. सो जितने भी हमारे पीएचडी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वंस दे क्लियर देयर एडमिशन टेस्ट, जो रिटन टेस्ट है, वी इनवाइट देम फॉर ए रिसर्च प्रेजेंटेशन, जिसके अंदर उन्होंने जो भी काम, रिसर्च का काम अपना एमएस, उनके एमएस डिग्री में किया होता है या कोई और प्रोजेक्ट किया हुआ है, they have to discuss that with the faculty. So essentially that session, that research presentation is kind of a matchmaking. हम वहाँ consider कर रहे होते हैं कि ये student किस faculty, किस computer science faculty के साथ बेहतर तौर पे match हो सकता है. The reason being is we want to make sure कि जब भी स्टूडेंट जिस टाइम पे एडमिट होता है, उनका रिसर्च एरिया या रिसर्च फोकस मोर और लेस डिफाइन हो जाए, ताकि विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम, विदाउट लुकिंग फॉर स्पेसिफिक रिसर्च एरिया, एक्सप्लोरिंग दैट, शुरू से ही स्टूडेंट को पता और फैकल्टी को भी पता हो. सो वी वांट टू मिनिमाइज दैट टाइम ऑफ एक्सप्लोरिंग द रिसर्च एरिया. तो ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर है हमारे इस प्रोसेस का. बाज़ औक़ात ऐसा भी होता है कि कुछ बहुत अच्छे स्टूडेंट होते हैं with exceptional credentials, but we are unable to match their research interest with our faculty. For example, we don't have anyone working in quantum computing area. So if some student comes and wants to work in quantum computing area or neurocomputing area, we don't have any faculty member working in that area. So it will be unfair for these students if we take them and later on they realize that there is no faculty who can advise those students. So this is the most critical part. That research presentation is the most critical part.
Exactly, बिल्कुल सही. So again, यानी कि the main thing that I am taking from your comment is that we basically try to match the interest of the student, the research interest of that particular student who is applying to us, and we see if we have relevant faculty working in that particular stream as well or not. So otherwise we wouldn't want to be unjust to the student. And this is a remarkable point. This has never been made before, so it is kind of a new information for me as well. Another thing that I must let our applicants know is that we have an open doors policy that we follow at not only at SBASSE but at all the schools at LUMS. Jahan pe, if you have any question with regards to any particular field, and if there is a professor available, if there is a teacher available who can guide you there, you can simply just walk into their room, and I am sure Tehreem is going to second my comment, and you can have a long discussion with them until you are satisfied. Tehreem, do you agree or?
Definitely, I agree 100%. I've had conversations about my career. I've had conversations about what stream I want to pursue. I've had conversations with Dr. Junaid here and with a lot of other faculty members. So yeah, definitely I second this.
Perfect, बिल्कुल सही. Thank you तरीम. Last में जो है एक request करूँगा अपने तीनों panelists से कि मैं one by one आप सबके पास आऊँगा, and I would request कि अगर आप एक suggestion जो है वो हमारे applicants को दें, what to consider or what not to give too much of importance to when filling in their application. Dr. Basit, I'll start with you.
Ji, so again, we are looking forward to receiving your applications. We want to make sure कि अगर आप अपनी applications में whatever are your strengths, please make sure you specify those strengths. We also require a research or a statement of purpose. So statement of purpose may, if you want to pursue your research specifically for our PhD students, if they can mention their research experience, some of the research projects they have worked on, and also look at the profile of our faculty members. All our research profile, the research profile of all our faculty members are available on the LUMS website. So usme agar if you can also point out that you are interested in working this area or these type of problems, really do inspire you. That will be helpful for us in doing that matchmaking.
Perfect. Dr. Junaid.
जी थैंक यू आई थिंक डॉक्टर बासित ने लास्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस में आई थिंक पीएचडी साइड को काफी अच्छा कवर कर दिया है, सो आई विल ट्राई टू कवर मास्टर साइड. And I think master side maybe, of course, that part that you cover your strengths wo jata hai, but I take from a few questions that were asked ke people are jo criteria ke bare mein applicants ki bar they try to ask about it, and I think many universities and even we in undergraduate have kind of more well-defined mathematical formula of taking people, because it's a large number of people with a fairly equal entry point. It's not, there is no criteria that we are trying to avoid telling you. So if you see their criteria is good academic performance, there is an age that we don't have a strict criteria. We really go through the profiles, we really evaluate it, because sometimes we get a great electrical engineer and then their subject test in computer science is going to be a little bad. Or sometimes we get a great computer scientist who probably has no research profile and nothing much to add to their, they don't even have taken a research course. And sometimes we have someone who has otherwise a very bad GPA but has done a good research on their own, or someone who in industry has done a project kind of driven by themselves. So we really want you to tell us what should we look in you. It's not that there is a hidden criteria that we are kind of avoid telling you. It is that we will go through what you tell is your best side, and we will want you here if you convince us. And we would really like you to apply here.
Certainly. Terry, we'll end with you.
So I have just one message, that whatever dimension you want your career to go in, wherever you see yourself or whatever you want to explore, I would say that take the initiative. Don't be scared. Go to the professors, explore the resources. LUMS is a place that doesn't hinder your growth or limit you to the mediocre ideas. You have something great you want to do, you pitch that idea to your professors and you see where it goes. So it really helps you, grow in whatever direction you want to go. So good luck to everyone who is taking the tests.
Bilkul cheek. Thank you so much, Dr. Junaid, Dr. Basit, and Tereem. Thank you so much for being with us. I think we have engaged in a very significant conversation with regards to helping our students, our applicants who are seriously planning on applying to our MS and PhD programs. And it has been a remarkable opportunity for me to engage with all our faculty members who took part in these webcasts, and the videos once again for all the programs offered at the MS and PhD levels at Syed Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering are available on our Facebook page. In case you are interested in other programs, the videos are available. Please do go watch them, learn more about those programs, and apply to these programs by taking a very informed approach. And I should further let you know that LGAT and the SBASSE specific test for this particular program, for all the programs, the date for that is 11th April 2021, and the last day to submit your online admission application is 30th March 2021. So, मैं ये बात बार-बार कहता हूँ, but I'm going to say it, I'm going to repeat it one more time. Please do not wait till the last moment. Fill in your application, start filling in your application as soon as you can. And you'll be asked to provide a lot of supporting documents. So make sure आप last day तक wait नहीं कर रहे, आप इस opportunity से अभी फायदा उठा रहे हैं, साथ ही अपनी application को fill in करना start कर लें. Thank you very much once again. We look forward to getting your application, evaluating it, and best of luck.